Hey everyone, Super sha'll 2099 here.
Oh wow, that sounds really weird when you say that instead of Sonic DVC Spidey Man.
Yeah. Oh! Because of the fucking YouTube deleted my account, so now I have to say Super sha'll 2099 on first Sonic DVC Spidey fan.
Alright.
Now introduce yourself.
Super scared stupid. You know, because my account didn't get deleted.
Yeah.
One cat. No, joking.
Yeah. So I'm Super sha'll 2099, originally Sonic DVC Spidey fan, and we are here to talk about
Sonic 4 Episode 2,
just little bits of it,
and also Sonic and All-Stars Transform.
Yep.
AKA Sega All-Stars Racing 2.
Yep.
It's funny how they've taken out the word Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing. Now it's just called Sonic and All-Stars.
Yeah.
I still think having the word Sonic in the title is a really cheap way to sell it.
Yeah, I was going to say actually.
It should just be called Sega All-Stars Transform.
Yeah.
But whatever. I guess because the majority of the characters are Sonic characters.
Yeah.
But first, for what little we have to talk about, let's talk about Sonic 4 Episode 2.
Yes.
There's not a lot to say about it, because you can pretty much look up all the gameplay,
yeah,
all the levels.
I'm sure you all
have already
seen it,
yeah. Levels, music, everything's really been leaked. Still, it may still be a beta, because the game is coming out May 15th, which is still pretty soon. But
yeah, this month actually, isn't it?
Yeah, like in just the next week. Probably.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
So that would be quite cool. And but there is one thing I do want to address, which does bother me quite a bit. Now, anyone who's watched Episode Metal gameplay, which by the way isn't 3 acts of Lost Labyrinth and Casino Street, etc. Each act is its own level. So Act 1 is Mad Gear, Act 2 is Lost Labyrinth, Act 3 is Casino Street, Smash Hill, etc. There's only 4 acts. Kind of short. But it is like a hard mode of the game.
Yeah.
Kind of like playing as Knuckles in Sonic and Knuckles. It was a bit harder. There is one thing I need to address. Lost Labyrinth Act 2, anyone who's looked up the gameplay by Shadow of Ruki or something like that, I think his name is. You see a cutscene in the beginning where we see, apparently according to the story, Metal Sonic was destroyed and left on Little Planet. Yeah. And Little Planet obviously vanished for many years and then came back, and when Sonic looks modern now, and Eggman returns and revives him and brings him back to Earth, and Sonic 4 Episode 2 happens. Now, one thing.
Maybe something. He's talking to me like this.
Fuck off. There is. Now, we're supposed to believe Sonic 4 is the canon storyline. Is actually part of the story, aren't we? We're supposed to believe Sonic 4 is the official story. So it's Sonic 1, 2, 3, Knuckles, CD, I guess, and 4. Not in that order. But, here's the problem with this. Anyone remember Knuckles Chaotix? We'd assume that was part of the story because it was when Knuckles first meets the Chaotix, and it's also the first game the Chaotix were ever in, and they are main characters. Yeah. Now the one problem with this, as I've said, Metal Sonic remained on the Little Planet until Sonic looked modern and Episode 2 happens. Yeah. So the game, the official story is leading us to believe that Metal Sonic was not around at all until Sonic 4 Episode 2. Meaning, he wasn't there in Knuckles Chaotix, he wasn't there in Sonic Triple Trouble, and Sonic the Fighters. Fuck Sonic the Fighters still, but still. So that kind of fucks up some of the story a little bit.
Thing is, Triple Trouble and Chaotix are the main story.
Triple Trouble you can exclude, because that has kind of a different story, but Chaotix, that is part of the main story. That's supposed to take place after Sonic and Knuckles. You know?
Yeah.
How could they fuck that shit up?
Yeah,
that kind of messes it up. People could argue and say that Robotnik built another Metal Sonic, but then again, in the games, there's always only been one Metal Sonic. It's only in the comics that he builds lots of them.
Yeah.
In the games, there's always just been one. So, really, it depends on what you want to believe, but I don't fucking like it. I mean, I like the idea of Metal Sonic being left on Little Planet, and it made me feel bad for him, because then when you play as him, he's getting his revenge, and he's coming back, and it's the first time Tails meets Metal Sonic, which I really like. I think that's really cool. But as I've said to you, I still don't think it should be called Sonic 4. Sonic, it's a great game, but it's not worthy of the title Sonic the Hedgehog 4.
Because they're just remaking stages.
They're just remaking stages.
What they did with the classic games, they always brought new stages, didn't they?
It was always fresh. I mean, the bosses are fresh. The bosses are really interesting. However, I mean, you've seen the final boss of the Death Egg Mark II, that heart, the egg heart, when you have to beat them and shit, that's a really interesting boss. The bosses are great, but the levels are still just remakes of old levels.
I mean, White Park doesn't look too much like Ice Cap, but...
Yeah, it's kind of a mix between Ice Cap, and Carnival Night Zone.
They basically just mix stages.
They mix
don't
stages, yeah, like Oil Desert.
Yeah.
Terrible name.
Yeah.
Is Oil Ocean and Sandopolis,
Yeah.
with a bit of Metropolis thrown in as well,
Yeah.
if you heard it in the music.
Mm.
But I still don't think it should be called Sonic 4, really. I always thought it should be Sonic CD 2.
Yeah.
If it would have had the time travel shit in it,
Yeah.
I could have been alright with that. It would have made a good Sonic CD 2.
Yeah.
And it is meant to be part of it. A CD is meant to be part of the Sonic 4 story, really.
Yeah. It's funny how it began.
How did Sonic 4? Yeah, because it's when he met Metal Sonic.
Yeah.
See, they're leading us to believe this is the main story, but there is one thing that CD fucks up as well. In Sonic CD, the re-release, which we're supposed to believe is part of the main story, we see Tails in it. Now, many fans would argue that that doesn't make sense in the timeline, because Sonic CD takes place before Sonic 2, and in Sonic 2, Sonic meets Tails. How could Tails be in CD if Sonic hasn't met him yet?
I reckon Sonic already knew him.
That's what I'm thinking. Sonic had to have already known him, and in all fairness, we're supposed to believe Sonic Generations takes place before CD.
Sonic CD.
It takes place literally right after Sonic 1. Sorry.
Yeah.
It takes place literally right after Sonic 1! So, and before Sonic 2 and CD and all of them.
Because you see, like, classic Sonic at the end.
And he knows Tails in that.
Yeah.
You know?
Because you see at the end when they turn Super Sonic, that Sonic looks like he's done
Yeah,
for the first time.
as soon as the emeralds go around him, you see him look at his hand like, what kind of power is this? He
Yeah.
doesn't know what it is. He's never gone Super before, because
Yeah.
this is his first time.
Yeah.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it makes sense in a way, because how else would he have been able to beat all these badass bosses and go Super? Because he already knew how, and he's
Yeah.
already done it.
I love how Sega did that.
Yeah.
It's smart how they did that.
I still can't believe Sonic knows his future.
Yeah, man. It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah,
Even though he's going to forget Crisis City.
exactly.
Like,
Yeah, that's pretty fucking weird. We've talked about this in our Generations commentary.
which was on my Son Easy Spy Fan commentary, but unfortunately, you
shit
just
fucking yeah.
yeah. But please look at our really cool intros we did for our commentary. It's really hilarious. I'll have it on a video response. Please look at that. They're really funny, and I hope you like them.
Is your Sonic Easy Spy Fan channel just gone now?
Yeah, Terminated.
Oh wow.
I had some really good videos. I had some really good Sonic 20th anniversary tributes on there that everyone loved. I had loads of views on there, loads of comments, and
YouTube
just delete it.
You know what?
It's changed so much, YouTube.
That's a weird thing. More stuff about Episode 2 and all that. We're supposed to believe that Robotnik built the Mad Gear Zone just to power up Metal Sonic.
Yeah.
Literally, the whole zone is just one big engine to power Metal Sonic, pretty much. Which I think is fucking A, because I can't believe that Robotnik built
made a whole stage.
a whole stage.
Really? Just for Metal
Gorgeous.
Sonic?
Wow, he must be powered up. He must be
do all
powered
this
up,
shit.
yeah. And to be... He recycled. Oh, I'm joking.
Probably does, doesn't
What was I going to say? Oh, and he was in Lost Labyrinth looking for a mysterious purple orb, which apparently gives Metal Sonic some kind of new power, an electrical power. Which I still want to know what that orb is. What is that?
Hopefully, all good.
Yeah. I don't get it. I really don't get it. Why is it that Metal Sonic is exactly the same as Sonic, and he's even kind of a bit stronger than him now that he has this new power, but even with all that, he still fucks up.
Metal Sonic?
Yeah, he still loses. How is that? It's like what he said in Sonic Heroes, it's no use, why can't I defeat you? Didn't he? He went, I don't understand, why can't I beat you? And I'm thinking that, why the fuck can't he beat him? I mean, he's exactly like him, and now he's got more power. Why can't he beat him? Why is Sonic kicking his ass? Maybe because Sonic's got the homing attack now.
Yeah! Oh! We said this about Goku, didn't we, yesterday?
Yeah.
How he's always strong, because he's a low attack and that stuff.
It's weird. Well, I guess it's the hero.
What makes him so unique, you know? Yeah, it's always like.
Another cool thing to mention is Robotnik loves his Death Egg.
Death Egg Mark 2. Even though he's done Mark 2.
He's done Mark 2 like 3 times.
Yeah.
I like this Mark II best though for one reason, and that he's literally played it really clever. He's built a Death Egg around the little planet, literally. The little planet is inside the Death Egg 2, because he wants to create a time-traveling Death Egg. Because the time stones are unreal. That's actually Mark II, I think that's the best Mark II ever.
Yeah.
But this doesn't make sense to you, and having a Death Egg 2 in it fucks up many stories again. There's another thing we can bring up. Sonic the Fighters we can exclude because it's just an arcade game.
Yeah.
There was a Death Egg 2 in that, however, and like I said, Metal Sonic as well. Then the real thing we want to talk about is Sonic Battle on the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
He had a Death Egg Mark II in that, and he even called it the Death Egg Mark II. So that kind of means that thanks to Sonic 4 Episode 2, we're supposed to believe that Sonic Battle isn't part of the story now, because he's already made the Death Egg Mark II.
Yeah.
Which is really shit, let's think about it this way. Because who here loves MO? And now that they fucked up the story, and we have to say Sonic Battle isn't part of the story, therefore ML is just gone.
Unless the Sonic Advance are their own dimension.
Yeah, we've said this. Sonic Advance and the Game Gear Sonic games and shit like that, they seem like their own world, like separate from the Genesis games and the console ones. Like Sonic Rush, you know, Blaze was from another dimension, and then in the main console, Sonic 06 title, which I shouldn't say it's a real title, but whatever.
And how Generations Blaze is something
still from another dimension. See, that's what I mean. We can't say that, because in Rush she's from another dimension, in 06 she's from the future, back in Generations she's from another dimension again. What the fuck?
It doesn't seem like she's from another dimension, does it? She seems like she's already there, though. I don't know why...
Did she really travel through the dimensions just to attend Sonic's birthday party?
How does she know Sonic's birthday, anyway?
And you know what? That's another thing that doesn't make sense. At the end of Rush, Blaze said, we can't exist in the same world because it can cause disruption.
Exactly.
Why is she there then? Doesn't she know the danger? I mean, in all fairness, like I've said it before, Blaze is the Sonic of her world.
Exactly.
She's the heroine of her world. Why do you think her shoes have a white stripe in them?
Just with high heels on them,
with high heels, except they're purple with a white stripe, because she's literally the Sonic of her world. She's the hero of her world. That's why she's so fast and shit.
And look at the poster with Blaze on it. I've got a poster on my wall. Like.
Her shoes are literally exactly the same, except high heel version.
Yeah.
More
well,
that's really all we can say about Sonic 4.
Episode 2.
It's still a great game.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm still gonna get it.
I'm gonna really enjoy it, but like I've said, I'm still very, very worried about how the physics are in the game. Will it play like a classic Sonic game? Will he move like a classic? Like, because in Sonic,
it looks like it. But...
in Sonic 4 Episode 1, there was literally no point in having momentum. Like, you know how in the old games when there's a loop, and you run, you can't get up it. You can't. You have to like spin dash. Build up some speed. And go around that loop in the old games. In Sonic 4 Episode 1, you could walk around the loop. You didn't need any fucking speed. The physics were fucked up.
They've got to fix that.
Now, and he sticks to walls and shit. You know, it's weird. Like, see, in Sonic 4 Episode 2, I'm not. I think it's probably been tweaked, and I'm hoping it's like the older games. I really am. But I on a couple of occasions, I swear I noticed Tails or something on the side of a wall or something, just standing there. That might just be me, but I'm really worried about the physics in this game. Everything else about it kicks ass. It's a worthy sequel, and having that sky chase kind of zone in Sky Fortress Act 1, that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I like that.
And I love how Metal
Sonic. Sonic 2, doesn't it?
Yeah, except that the new thing now is that I heard, I don't know if you saw while Sonic was on the tornado, it does like a spinning move, like a spinning attack move.
Yeah.
To destroy crates. I think you press like square for the PS3 to do that, and X on the Xbox to do a spinning attack. That's new.
Yeah.
Which is quite cool. And as I've said, I love how Metal Sonic is flying a fucking battleship
to
chase you.
That's
badass. He really wants his revenge in this game. Not gonna lie.
Right then, moving on to
Sega.
You need to stop saying Sega.
I know.
Sonic All-Stars Racing Transform.